All right, here we go. NFL ahead of week 2, which kicks off tomorrow night with a great game. You don't throw around the adjectives loosely here on Game Time. That is a great game. Green Bay and Washington from Lambeau Field.
It is a great game.
A couple of 1-0 teams that have clear Super Bowl aspirations and possibly the rosters to get there, the quarterbacks. Did you see this, Noah? Because I know it was hard for you to watch. The Green Bay Packers drubbing of the Detroit Lions in week 1, 37-13. And the debut of their newest piece, Micah Parsons.
27-13.
That game garnered monster TV ratings for CBS. And I know for some people TV ratings, but listen, nearly 24 million viewers for a middle of the afternoon Sunday game. It's the most watched game on CBS since the game returned. The NFL came back to CBS nearly 30 years ago. So a lot of people tuned in, and your Lions did not give us much to watch. But everybody tuned in. Can I just say that I think the late afternoon game on this Sunday might beat it. I would bet right now that it beats it as far as that TV rating because it's the Super Bowl rematch of the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. Everybody will tune into this game on Fox. This will be Tom Brady's game.
There we go.
With
Tom
Kevin
Brady.
Burkhardt. Yes.
There we go.
So this will be the Tom Brady game.
Well, the Eagles are favored.
And the Eagles are favored, and I think rightfully. Philly's 1-0. They own the Lombardi Trophy. Of course, the Chiefs won that Lombardi Trophy each of the last 2 years. KC's 0-1, licking their wounds after being beat by the Chargers down in Brazil last Friday night. They're also likely to be without Xavier Worthy, who's out, and he's listed as day-to-day, but I don't think he's back this week with that shoulder injury.
No, that won't be the case.
No Rashee Rice, who's still serving his 8-game suspension for being a lunatic on the highways of Dallas.
Hollywood Brown will have to play a lot of football.
Against a very good Eagles defense.
Travis Kelce. Old man Kelce's going to have to do something.
And the good news for the Eagles, you heard Patrick Osborne mention it. We predicted it here on Game Time. Jalen Carter will face no further punishment for spitting on Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott on Thursday night. NFL announced it. And as we debated on the show, he did lose his game check. That was a pretty expensive spit, $57,222 for the best player on the Eagles. He will not get paid. He didn't play a snap.
He'll be all right.
But still, well, he's still on a rookie contract. He's doing fine, but that's still $60,000. If he's got a wife at home or girlfriend, and he's like, $60,000? What's wrong with you?
I don't spit on somebody.
You just imagine just spitting away $60,000?
I couldn't imagine spitting on other man, so no.
No. Oh, yeah. So that game will probably break that $24 million person CBS record because it's Taylor Swift will be there.
Yep,
and the
T-Swizzle. Yep. The new engagement. Do you think they're going to?
Tom Brady.
Do you think she'll come out with the ring on and everything?
They'll be looking for it on the camera there.
They will.
Cowboys also will play their home opener on Sunday. They play the New York Giants. And I just saw on ESPN Peter Schrager reporting that the Jackson Dart watch is on in New York.
As it should be.
Well, and again, their head coach,
Brian Daboll
has announced that Russell Wilson will start, even though he was highly ineffective in their loss to Washington last week. But what Peter Schrager said this morning was Russell Wilson may start the game, but if things don't go well, you could see Jackson Dart pretty quickly.
They're not going to go well.
And I said you might see Jackson Dart from the jump here. Like, announce Russell, let the Cowboys prep for Russell Wilson all week, and then pull the curveball. I'm sure the Cowboys are thinking about that too, because that's how bad Russell Wilson was last week.
He's been that bad for years now.
No, there's enough sample size to know this is what he is. But this is an interesting game, and I wanted to play this a little bit for you because Cowboy fans were pretty excited about the loss. That's, moral victories, whatever. But the Cowboys fans saw, and we all did, saw a lot of things to like in their first game where they lost to the Eagles. And the weather delay, I think, hurt both sides in a bad way. But in the end, Dak Prescott was the second highest graded quarterback of the week. They ran the ball with Javonte Williams. Their defense got better and better as the game went on. And I wanted to play this because on the Cowboys flagship radio station yesterday, they had a real good debate about the offensive line and what are they going to do. Javonte Williams did have a good game. They ran the foot. Miles Sanders, even though he had the fumble, did have that long run. And there was a lot to like about the physicality of the Cowboys. Now, Brian Broaddus, he's a former scout, won a Super Bowl with the Packers. He's been a Cowboys insider for a long time. And he had a suggestion for the Cowboys about what they should do with their offensive line moving forward. I wanted to play it for you Cowboys fans because it's good stuff. It's meat and potatoes football, but here's Broaddus with some thoughts on the long haul up front.
Enough. It's got to be great, especially with an aging quarterback. You don't have a great running game right now.
So this is the co-host talking about, Terrence Steele not being great. Do they make a change where the other four, including Tyler Guyton, were pretty good against the Eagles? Terrence Steele continues to struggle.
Can't protect Dak that well. So I'm interested to get your thoughts on this offensive line.
I would consider moving Nate Thomas to right tackle and take Steele out of the lineup is what I would do.
Wow, that's strong. He was that bad.
I'm just saying. I think that if you want to play with the five, well, 4 of the 5 guys would be the strongest, probably the strongest of what your offensive line has been in a long time. Guyton is not as strong, but I would take Steele out. I think Nate Thomas was good enough to start for you at left tackle. He's probably good enough to start for you at right tackle. And what it gives you is if you legitimately want to run the football, if you feel like you can run the ball with Williams and he's going to give you some power, then I would consider putting Nate Thomas at right tackle or working him in to see. And I know that Schottenheimer and them don't like doing that, but if it was me, I'm gonna try and grow this thing with Guyton at left tackle. Didn't have really any reps at all in training camp. I mean, early reps, and then all of a sudden he's out there playing. Looked better technique wise. So there's something to grow on there. All right.
So, we were talking about the Longhorns and 12 personnel. With this group of receivers, when you've got George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, who, by all accounts, CeeDee Lamb's coming in with a mat on in this game. He's been taking extra catches, and he's ready to have a big game against the Giants. But with the Giants, you've got to deal with a great front. And again, against the Eagles, you didn't have to face Jalen Carter.
Right.
Because he's an idiot and spit on Dak Prescott and cost himself
$60,000
and didn't get to play. That changed
defender.
everything.
Right.
But the one thing the Giants do have, they don't have a quarterback right now, but they have Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau, Abdul Carter blocked a punt last week. That dude is a problem. And they have Brian Burns, who had 2 sacks against Jaden Daniels. You've got to be able to run the football. And I'm still not sold on Javonte Williams, but he was good in week 1. You got to be able to run it. I don't disagree with Brian Broaddus because you got to slow their pass rush down. If you can run the ball against the Giants, you can create one-on-one opportunities on the outside, and Dak looked great this weekend.
He sure did.
You got to lean into that. Didn't Jake Ferguson your tight end? But I like the idea of trying to find the most 5'. Tyler Booker is your rookie at guard.
Right.
Cooper Beebe up in there as well, and Tyler Guyton. Interesting, I thought, from Brian Broaddus to maybe go to Nate Thomas at one of the tackle spots. We'll take your thoughts as the Cowboys fan out there. 512-834-1027. You know, as a Lions fan, I know as a Texans fan, you got to fix the offensive line issues because the Lions couldn't block the Packers at all. The Texans had a hard time with the Rams on Sunday.
Which are 2 of the better defensive lines, I believe, in the league.
Maybe the 2 best. Outside of Houston. Right. Houston, I think, brings one to the table. Speaking of the Texans, they play a part of it as we look forward on to week 2. Houston won't play till Monday night.
Right.
They're part of that Monday Night Football doubleheader where they're the early game with Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers.
You're getting Dan Orlovsky on the call.
I love that. I like Dan. I think he does a good job.
Too. I think he's good.
And then the night game's really fun, too. The 1-0 Raiders and the 1-0 Chargers in the AFC West.
Hey, now.
Pete Carroll, Jim Harbaugh, they don't like each other. From back to their 49ers, he might be too young to remember that rivalry. They went back all the way to Stanford and USC with those two.
Sure.
They don't like each other. And that's going to be fun. So I got D'Amico Ryans and the Texans trying to bounce back and they've already taken a bunch of injuries against the Baker Mayfield-led Buccaneers. Let's hear D'Amico Ryans. He is not going to panic about the 0-1 start. He knows a lot of people on the outside are already panicking. And the noise, they're avoiding it. I think D'Amico Ryans, the third-year head coach of the Texans, with some good perspective.
That's the nature of our business, right? You lose, fire everybody, trade every player, right? You win, going to the Super Bowl. Then the next week, everything, I get it. That's the nature of our business. It's exciting because you have so many different outlets, so many different people have an opinion. So many people love football. So I love the passion. I love the energy that comes with this, right? It's fun, man. We really enjoy this, and we understand the seriousness of it as well, right? But to that point, the realistic point is one game. It's week 1. The building isn't burning down. It's week 1. We go back, and we fix what we need to fix, come out and do the things that we can control. That's the main emphasis for this week. How can we just control the controllables and press forward? And now, when you have a chance to truly compete, now let's see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, so there you
That's
go.
Well
they lost
said.
by 5 points on the road to the Rams, who I think are a Super Bowl contender. Rams will play the Titans this week, by the way. They get a little bit of a reprieve like the Cowboys do into week 2. But 5 points, and then if you saw the game, Houston did have the ball moving. Felt like they were inside the 15-yard line trying to score a go-ahead touchdown, and one of their most reliable players, the running back, Agumbawale, fumbled the football, and that's how the game ended. But it felt like they were going to steal that one, much like the Cowboys felt like they were going to steal one in Philadelphia.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, that run game they're still trying to figure out too, because now you don't have Joe Mixon. Right? I mean, that's such a big loss.
Got to be Nick Chubb, and Nick Chubb wasn't bad. It wasn't bad against the Rams. He got going as the game went on. He ended up with like 60 yards on 12 carries, but they've got to fix the offensive line issues. It's been an ongoing problem.
From a matchup perspective, the Buccaneers' offense is electric. Let's call it how it is. But their defense, it's not amazing, especially that secondary. I think you can attack that. Winfield was out last week against the Falcons, so I'm excited to see that matchup.
Houston parallels the Texas Longhorns right now. I know all of you would text me and say the Houston are the Aggies, but the Houston's going to lean on their defense until their offense can get better with the new offensive coordinator.
They should.
Longhorns are in the same boat. Ride our defense until the offense comes along with 8 new starters.
Right.
Is what Texas is
Run
going to do.
game is probably a little bit more defined for Texas.
I'll take C.J. Baxter right now.
Yeah.
Without Joe Mixon, and who knows when he comes back. But it did sound like from D'Amico that maybe Christian Kirk could be back, which would be big for them.
Yeah,
Braxton Berrios at wide receiver as well. Both somehow suffered hamstring injuries in the week leading up to week 1. So they were out there with just Nico Collins in that game and still nearly stole that ball game.